So yeah, Moria could be the brother to Caribou and Caribou, because if you didn't know, in chapter 1155, Wang Zhi was officially revealed, and he is the pirate prophet slash pirate guru, and of course he was the former commander of Pirate Island in the present, and he is a former Rocks pirate and was under Rocks D. Zebek, the father of Blackbeard. So here's the weird thing. All three of them look like Wang Zhi. Caribou and Moria have both gone to Pirate Island. Moria invaded Pirate Island for Absalom, and then Caribou was taken to Pirate Island for the information that he had. What's so weird about this is that both of them then would be prodigal sons in a way, because both of them have come to their father's house. So that's weird as a start. Looking at the three of them, they're all weirdly thematic with one another, because of course, Moria ran Thriller Bark. The whole thing about Thriller Bark was that using the skills of Hogback, Moria in combination with his Shadow Fruit abilities could make an army of zombies, right? Zombies that would come out of the ground. Now, of course, Caribou has the Logia-type Devil Fruit of the Bog Fruit, literally allowing him to become mud, to become the ground. So that's interesting. On top of that, in his introduction, Caribou and Caribou attack a marine and then bury him. Caribou holding the shovel. Also, in being a bog man, Caribou, with the powers of the bog fruit, can hold an infinite amount of things within himself. So his entire ability is to bury people in mud, you could say, or bury objects in mud. With that being said, it's weird that now all three of them have a weird burial theme about them. Next, of course, Moria wears a crucifix around his neck, and there's a lot of Christian iconography in Thriller Bark. Well, it's very interesting. When you turn a crucifix on its side, it becomes an X. This same decorative X can be found on the shirts of Caribou and Caribou. So that too is interesting. Now, coming back to Moria, his full name is Gecko Moria. A gecko is a type of lizard, and for the longest time, this doesn't make any sense, but it kind of comes to a head when you get to the end of the arc, where Moria eats all the shadows on Thriller Bark and obtains his Shadows Asgard form, of which then he looks like a big bloated lizard. This is interesting because Caribou has a lizard on his head acting as his hair, and I always thought that was so weird and out of place. It's a live lizard just sitting on his head acting as his hair. It emotes and everything. So it's weird that one of these brothers has a reptile on his head that very well may be a gecko, and then their older brother presumably is literally named Gecko Moria, and at the peak of his abilities can obtain a form that looks like a gecko. That is very interesting. So we have a burial theme, a weird Christian theme, because two, of course, Caribou and Caribou pray as they're burying the marine upon their introduction. And now we have a lizard theme, because Caribou has a lizard on his head acting as his hair, and Gecko Moria is named after a lizard. With that being said, too, of course, all of them, with the exception of Caribou, though that could become a thing in the future, have a relationship with Blackbeard, because of course Moria was imprisoned by Blackbeard, but then Caribou was taken into custody by Catherine Davon and Van Augur to meet Blackbeard, and perhaps due to his relationship with Wang Zhi, presumably, and the information that he has to give Blackbeard, he will become a Blackbeard pirate. So while one was a captive, the other could be an official member, and I just thought that's a very interesting parallel to point out. So a lot to unpack here, and we'll have to see if any of this is true in the future. But in addition, I did want to say there could be a reason why these two brothers don't have forms while Moria does, because as we see with Haruden and Loki, we now have a bit of mother piece going on. So while Wang Zhi could have had a ogre or Oni wife to have Moria, he could have had another mistress of sorts and had the other two, Caribou and Coribou. So with that being said, that's not really a mark against this theory, because we now know as one can have multiple male partners and have multiple children in the likes of, say, Big Mom, one can have many female partners and have many children off of those relationships in the case of King Harold with Loki and Haruden. So both of those are canonical pieces in one piece. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede Works.